Thanks to the support as a channel member, Marco. Well, our tour of clubs past continues today. It's the Champions League semi-final. Having dealt with Real Madrid, we've now got to get past Norwich. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 21 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of the Champions League semi-final for you against former club Norwich, who are still, years after we left now managed by Mikel Arteta, they are still competitive as a Champions League qualifying team. I mean, the fact they're in the Champions League semi-final confirms that. There's the two Premier Leagues we won with them. They've never actually gone back and won the Premier League since. That was my final year when we finished second and it all went wrong. They finished fourth and third under Pep Guardiola, and then Mikel Arteta took over and I believe has delivered the third place finish last season, and this year is in fourth place, in danger of being caught by Aston Villa. I mean, you've got Chelsea, Man City, Man United, but there's no sign of Liverpool, Arsenal. I mean, Tottenham are up there. But Norwich, Aston Villa, Southampton and Bournemouth all up there as top 8 clubs in the Premier League. What a world. We ruined England by messing around with getting Norwich to the Premier League champions. But fingers crossed, the fact that they are only the 4th best team in England and we are the best team in Germany, I would like to think we should be able to navigate our way past them. If we do beat Norwich, we are rewarded with a final against either Manchester City or Chelsea. Both quite big, tough games. They've got Tamang, they've got Koulibaly. That's a tough final. But of course, Norwich have Delgado, Norwich have Pedro Luis, Norwich have a lot of familiar names and familiar faces. It's going to be a tough one, but they are still playing a system that involves having Pedro Luis on the right wing. Of course, they've got Adeyemi as well. I tell you what, as a front three, Adeyemi, Delgado, Pedro Luis, that is more scary than anything Real Madrid had to throw at us. Let's get into the game. This is the team that we're going to be sending to Norwich for the away leg. It's Diego Enrique in goal, Locatelli, Stewart, Posterido and John. Etienne Tipple, the man who made his name at Norwich, a long career at Norwich, became an England player at Norwich before joining up with me again this summer alongside Idoloff in midfield. Ballo, Schultz, of course, another former Norwich man, and Boning, then behind Luis Gustavo up front. I feel like we should have enough to deal with Norwich, but there have been a few rumblings from the comments section from time to time that suggest that Norwich might actually be the best squad that I've put together in this series. I still believe that Real Madrid were better than Norwich, and this Dortmund team is better than all of them. And I think that's reflected in Champions League results. Norwich, we always struggled. We never got beyond the semi-final with Norwich in the Champions League. And we are here in the semi-final with Dortmund, first time we've asked him. We obviously won the tournament with Real Madrid. If we can get into the final with Dortmund, I think that justifies that both the Real Madrid and the Dortmund teams were better than the Norwich team, especially because this is still largely my Norwich team, if we can find a way past them. Giving away a penalty early on, not ideal. Shepherd bursting into the area, who was never really a nailed-on regular starter under me, but clearly has taken on that role in the absence of the likes of Schultz and Tipple, who were in his way previously. But he wins the penalty, and who is that taking it? Adeyemi, another of my former boys from Real Madrid, and Adeyemi puts Norwich 1-0 up in this semi-final. This is going to make me sad. If this doesn't go our way, it's going to make me very, very sad. 1-0 to Norwich. I've seen Norwich go 1-0 ahead at Carrow Road many times before. Today's not really the day for it. If we could not let that be a thing, that'd be lovely. Thank you. Mura. I mean, I was going to say one of my former boys, but they're almost all my former boys. Bindi I signed. Navarro I signed. Pedro Luis I signed. They're all my boys. It's nearly 4 years since we left. But there's so many familiar names still there. It shows how good this team was. Luis Gustavo down the left. Lovely cross to Boning, who can't get his shot past Mura. Mura doing very well to defend. And now Schultz. Of course, lots of lovely times were had by him here at Carrow Road. And there's another one. Schultz picks the ball up on the edge of the area. He's a bit of a rascal for celebrating as far as I'm concerned. But It's a Champions League semi-final. I'm going to let him get away with it. Tipple involved in this as well. It's the little 1-2 between Tipple and Schultz. In fact, it's not Idloff gets involved, but Schultz showing just how good he is. His last couple of years at Norwich, he was relegated out to that left wing where Adeyemi now occupies the position. And I don't know, maybe not quite so effective out there. We've found him not as effective out on the left-hand side. You play him in the middle, you build the rest of the team around him, and he does stuff like that. Schultz with the equaliser. 1-1. We will take 1-1 from this first leg. Gustavo has got a twisted knee. That is the kind of problem that you address immediately. He's so important to us. We cannot risk him not being available for the second leg. So Ruben's going to come on. Dinamarco has just got injured for Norwich. So we lost a striker at the time, same time they lost a defender. And it's now us on the attack. John on the right-hand side crosses to Ruben, who of course has plenty of experience playing here at Norwich as well from his time at Brighton in the Premier League. Idloff back to Postorino and now Stewart. I feel like an Etienne Tipple goal is almost guaranteed. We just need it to appear. Schultz plays Boning in. Boning hits the post. Ruben with the tap in. I'm looking at the linesman. No movement from him. It's been given and we've gone ahead in the away leg. And I mean, it's yellow shirts all around the ground. I assume that batch of yellow behind the goal are our fans because they're getting very giddy. Schultz very much involved again. Lovely ball through to Boning, who hits the post. And it's an easy peasy tap in for Ruben, who last year I was questioning whether he could do it in the big matches. When you give him tap-ins, he can do it in any match. Right, Boning and Schultz both tired. Salabalabino is going to come on. Han is going to come on as well. We'll push Idloff further forward and just keep things fresh in that attacking midfield three. Right, this isn't one of my guys. Some fella called Leroy playing for Norwich. Nothing to do with me. Don't really approve of it. I wanted this to be a preview of the LOLLUJO Cup later in the year with all of my squads taking part. But I guess they're allowed to sign 1 or 2 players in a 4-year period. And Leroy looks like a big boy and he's charged into the area and Pedro Luis nods it down to Adeyemi and Adeyemi pokes it home. And it's a lovely move. And I mean, yes, that Leroy guy was involved, but 2 of my boys were involved as well. Pedro Luis nodding it down to Adeyemi. I think Delgado's gone off unless they've... Is that Delgado there? That might be Delgado there. Hold on. Have we done our substitutions? We have. So, yeah, it is Delgado has gone off. They've brought on some guy called Lo Celso, which seems silly to me. Why take off Delgado? I mean, I'm there for it. I am absolutely on board with them taking off Delgado, but it seems madness. They've also not got Hoyenhal in goal, which that's why they conceded 2 goals. You need Hoyenhal. 2-2. We take 2-2. That is an acceptable first leg. Now we just need to bring them back to our place, win the football match, a one-off match, and then we book a spot in the final and the other semi-final very finely poised as well. It is all to play for going into second legs, folks. Rotation and a bit of a sloppy performance in the league has led to a 2-2 draw away against Augsburg, who, to be fair, Augsburg were for a while pushing Bayern Munich for that 4th Champions League spot. So not a terrible side. We didn't lose. We'd already got the league wrapped up, so we're not going to worry too much about that because it's all about this second leg, and this is the team very similar to the team for the first leg. Just the return of Drury, I think, is the change there. So we don't need to go through them again. Let's just get out there. I'm nervous. I want to get out there and beat Norwich. That's the plan. Sergio Delgado's their captain, I've just noticed. Presumably he was captain for the first leg as a former Ballon d'Or winner. This, of course, is the match that contains the 2 Ballon d'Ors that we've won as part of non-league to legend this year. Sergio Delgado for that excellent, I think it was his debut season at Norwich, where he scored all those goals. And of course, Luis Gustavo, the current Ballon d'Or holder. And it is Norwich who are spending all the time with the football early on. And they've got in behind here through Adeyemi. And we need to be very careful. And John is there to take that off of Adeyemi's toe. I wonder if Manchester City are regretting letting Adeyemi go as early as they did. This is now his 4th year since leaving Manchester City. And have we scored here? Is that offside? It looked offside to me, which is why I didn't get too giddy about it. But we'll let the referee make it. Yeah, there you go. It is offside. But yeah, Manchester City letting Adeyemi go And then he goes and has 2 years at Real Madrid, wins the Champions League. And now he's in his second year at Norwich, where he's still a regular starter, still a key player, as they're pushing for a Champions League win as well. So you've got to think he probably could have stuck around a year or two longer at Manchester City if they'd have thrown a little bit of extra cash at him. And they wouldn't have had that striker problem that they had for a year or two when they fell off the pace because they didn't have any forwards, because they lost Adeyemi and Mbappe in the same summer, which seems very... Well, Adeyemi came to us in January, didn't he? And then Mbappe, at the end of the season, retired from Manchester City. Right, Boning to Schultz. We've had a taste of scoring a goal. We'd now like to score a legitimate one, and Ballo was played in, and he's got the ball back. It's a terrible mistake, and that, Norwich fans, is why you never should have got rid of Hoyenhal. You don't get that kind of nonsense from Hoyenhal. It serves this imposter right. What a terrible mistake in a Champions League semi-final. Ballo does very well to follow it in, actually. He didn't ever look like he was going to make it to the original ball, but continued to hassle and put pressure on the defenders. And when the goalkeeper makes his mistake, Ballo is there to capitalise. And it is now 1-0 on the night, 3-2, sorry, on aggregate. It's also 1-0 to Chelsea in the other semi-finals. At the moment, it's going to be a Dortmund-Chelsea final. But of course, we still have an hour to play in both matches. Anything could change just yet. But we are delighted to have an early goal. But Delgado, played in by Pedro Luis, is there at the other end to grab the equaliser for Norwich, and that all looked a little bit too easy. They got him behind us, and Delgado wasn't really under any kind of pressure there, was he? Pedro Luis gets clear, gets in behind. It's a lovely pass, and Delgado just breaking clear of the defence, and it's 1-1, and it's now a slightly panicky situation again, as Norwich on the attack through Adeyemi. Navarro, and now, oh no, this is not good. I mean, we've got the tackle in there, but oh my goodness me, Diego Enrique showing why you need a good goalkeeper. You don't get that out of this fraud at Norwich. Enrique, third best goalkeeper in the world, and showing it there. Stewart heading clear, but only as far as Delgado, who had a poor game in the first leg, but definitely seems to have woken up for this match. And now Locatelli breaking, or trying to break, but it's going to be half time. I think Sergio Delgado might be remembering all those times I criticised him for not showing up in big games, because it's a big game and he's definitely shown up today. And second half starts with Norwich on the attack, but that ball bobbles to Drury, and we've now got 4 against 2 as we charge for. That's a heavy ball, but Schultz makes it look good, and now the sting has got out of this as Norwich have flooded back, but Tipple is there, plays it across to Boning. We've got a man over in John if we can find him. Nobody notices that he's over there in space. Now Stewart coming out of defence, gives it to Locatelli. Back to Stewart again. Locatelli and Stewart, they're just knocking the ball back and forth between them. And that's a poor pass from Stewart. And of course, him and Locatelli both out of position. But luckily, Drury's there to intercept. And then plays a beautiful pass over the top for Luis Gustavo. There's so much good to say about what I've just seen. Stefan Drury was an out-and-out attacking midfielder when I arrived 2 years ago. And now he's a holding midfielder who can come across and cover when his defenders go charging off ahead of him, and then just turn, look up and hit from his own half. A beautiful pass to play Luis Gustavo in for the second goal. 2-1 now to us. It's still 1-0 between Chelsea and Manchester City in the other game, but we're on the attack again through John. Schultz playing it back to John, and there's Drury, who's been fantastic in this second half. Posterino to Stewart, and now Drury again playing it into Luis Gustavo, who shoots from range. Why not test the fraud in goal for Norwich? The non-Hoyenhal. It serves them right. And now we've got a corner, and it's going to be Ballo to hit an in-swinger, looking for that far post where Posterino is, and he can't keep his header down, and it remains 2-1. I'm not comfortable while it's only a 1-goal lead. We look at that Norwich front four and know there's plenty of goals in them, so we would very much like a third goal, please. And I do feel like it should be Etienne Tipple. He needs to show where his loyalties really lie. Ball forward. Delgado's been left unmarked again, but this time at least it's in his own half. And Navarro, who you not hated, but is still a key part of this Norwich team after all this time. So couldn't have been that bad, but it's a poor pass for him there, and John intercepts. And now Ballo is in behind. He's got options in the middle. He plays it across to Luis Gustavo, who hits the post. Oh, that felt like that could have been the moment. A third goal there, and I think we start to feel a little bit more comfortable. Time to make some substitutions. We have got a lot of very tired boys out there. Salah Balabino's going to come on. Tipple, give him a standing ovation, but he needs to go off. He's an old man and he's tired. And then for our final change, I think we're going to take off Ballo. We'll bring on Ruben and just shuffle these lot around a little bit. Gustavo can go out onto the right-hand side. Salah Balabino on the left, and Ruben can go up top. And we can just shuffle and hopefully keep energy in this team, and also keep Luis Gustavo and Schultz on the pitch, who I would argue are our two best attacking players. So even if they're tired, when it's only a 2-1 lead, and there might still be the need for goals in this game yet, I am much more comfortable having those boys on the pitch. Right, Drury to Idoloff. Now Drury playing it to Luis Gustavo, who finds Idoloff. Lovely ball into Ruben. I think Ruben's offside there. He has poked it into the back of the net, but he looked offside to me. We'll take it, referee, if you want to give us one. That is a couple of times now we've had the ball in the back of the net and it's been disallowed. It feels like there's a conspiracy against me. Offside or not, if it keeps happening, it's a conspiracy. Yeah, that's a conspiracy as far as I'm concerned. Right, 8 minutes left in the game. We have been the better team. We do deserve the win. Manchester City have had a red card in their game, so Chelsea will be feeling good that they've got a final spot booked as well. We just need to hold on for the last couple of minutes. It is a corner to Norwich now, and Adeyemi, oh my word, it's a goal line clearance from Locatelli, and then Stewart hacks it clear. It is all kicking off here at the end of the match, but Ruben's on a counter-attack, and Schultz is unmarked in the middle, and that, I mean, I know he's running away from goal, but it's so cynical. Send him off, referee. So cynical. It's only a yellow. It should have only been a yellow. But, oh, that was very cynical from Shepherd. And now Luis Gustavo with a poor free kick. It ends up back with him, though. Just keep the ball now. Gives it to Idoloff. Idoloff plays Salah Balabino in. He's got Ruben square of him. He can find him. He can't. But Luis Gustavo is lurking deep and whacks it so hard. So very hard that he can't keep it down. And we have just about held on. But, oh, there were some stressful moments at the end there. Oh, my word. And it is going to be Chelsea that we face in the final. So we've done a tour. Oh, it's at Wembley. Oh, we have to win and end the series here, don't we? And the opportunity to go back to Wembley, win the European Cup. I was just going to say we're doing the tour of all the best strikers in the save because we get to see Tamang one more time for Chelsea, which I guess is nice as long as he doesn't score. But being able to go back to Wembley and win the final, it feels like it's all been scripted. It's all written in the stars for us. We've qualified for the Club World Cup as well. We're not going to be playing that. It's 2040. I mean, unless we manage to bottle the Champions League 3 years in a row and the save is still going at that point, you're not going to see us playing the Club World Cup. I always lose in it anyway. I'm rubbish at it. But we now have, coming up tomorrow, potentially the final episode of the series. It will be a premiere. I won't actually be in the premiere because as it goes out, I'm on holiday. I won't be able to log in, but you lot can watch it as a premiere, so it's spoiler free. Hopefully, another European Cup win. That's what we're looking for here. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.